Well, hello and welcome to the chat. I am super excited about this conversation that I am about to have with the one and only Ellyce Nashay Cecilia,
Yes,
my beautiful daughter. I had
it
to
is
say,
me.
it is you.
Yes, it is.
You did not make it to the first season of the
No,
chat.
I didn't. Everly keeps me very busy.
Yes.
And very secluded due to COVID. So, yeah,
Yes.
I missed it. But I've been looking forward to this chat for a while now.
Yes. So I am glad to have you. You did mention Miss Everly. How is she?
Everly is doing really good. She did spend some time in the hospital recently, just due to like a kidney problem that she has. So that's kind of expected and sometimes, but she's doing really good. A lot better at home now, taking her antibiotics daily and finished her dose of antibiotics that was treating the infection. So we're done with that, and now we're back on her antibiotic that she takes prophylactically, which just means as a maintenance to keep her from getting that infection again. But yeah, she's doing great.
She is a live wire,
Yes.
so we might hear her in the background.
Oh yeah.
And your chat, usually we do record the chat at the church, but with Miss Everly, we are going to do your session here.
Special privileges due to Everly.
Yes, yes.
I like it sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, well, thank you for sharing with us about that little beautiful bouncing baby girl. So, Ellyce, some questions for you. What makes a person beautiful in your eyes?
In my eyes, I believe beauty is an inward thing. I think of how a person treats themselves, most importantly, makes them beautiful. And then also how they treat other people and how they make other people feel makes them beautiful to me.
So you said inwardly, not necessarily the outer appearance.
I don't think it's a physical thing at all. I don't think it has anything to do with how you look, how your hair is, what shape you are. I think it's all about how you feel about yourself on the inside, and usually how you feel about yourself on the inside projects to how you're going to look on the outside, because you can be super duper beautiful on the outside and have a really not so pretty inside. So I really don't think it has anything to do with physical looks.
Okay, very good. Do you tend to overthink?
Yes, I do. Quite often, actually, more than I would like to. But it is something I'm working on for sure. But I definitely do tend to overthink.
You definitely tend to overthink.
Yes, I do.
So you acknowledge that it's something that you are not super proud of? So
yeah, I don't like it. It kind of like wears me down a lot, and it exhausts me mentally because my mind is constantly running. So that can like get really tiring at times.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not a good thing. Over the past couple months, I guess I've gotten a little bit better at it. I'm able to catch myself when my mind goes on like a tangent and it just carries on and on and on. So I'm kind of able to reel it back in and kind of get focused on reality again.
Yes. And that's good that you're working on it, and good that you realize. I know with me, we did a study, Battlefield of the Mind. The mind can do that to you, but once you realize, hey, wheel it back in, wheel it back in. So that's good that you are working on that part. What is the most courageous thing you've ever done?
The most courageous thing I've ever done is do a pageant. I was in a pageant my junior year in high school. Or was it my sophomore?
I think it was
my sophomore year in high school. Yeah, because it was when we first moved to Amarillo.
Yes.
I was in the Miss Juneteenth pageant.
Yes.
Those who know me, I'm pretty quiet and reserved at times. My talents, I really don't like to call myself a singer. I've never really been a good dancer. So when it came to like thinking of a talent, I was like, what am I gonna do? Like, I have no idea what my talent would be. And so just off a whim, I said I would do comedy. So my talent for the pageant was telling jokes.
Yes.
And that took a whole lot of courage because I was on the stage in front of a whole bunch of people, strangers at that. None of my family was there. My mom and my dad were there, and then the family that we gained in the church were there. But as far as like relatives and friends and familiar faces, I had no one out there for me. So that really took a lot of courage for me to get up there and tell my jokes in front of all those people and do a really good job. I actually won the pageant.
Yes, you did.
I did win the pageant.
15th, Amarillo.
Yes, ma'am. 2011.
2011. Yes, yes.
So yeah, that took a whole lot of courage because, like I said, I am kind of reserved into myself at times, especially in front of new people. So yeah, it really I put myself out there doing that pageant. So yeah.
And that too, earlier we were talking about the chat was like a spark. That was a spark for you because then you were invited to tell jokes at a couple of more events.
Yes, I became the comedic relief throughout Amarillo for a few of their events. They would call me and I would put together new jokes. I wasn't telling my same jokes. So I actually really made like a hobby out of it. And so it's something that I'm still interested in. I would like to do more comedy as the years go on. Yeah. I actually just signed up. I follow someone on Twitter. She's in Atlanta at the time. She's in Atlanta right now. But she does workshops for women who do comedy. And it's very beginner friendly. So I just signed up. I actually literally just signed up for that workshop. It's going to be virtual. Just teaching you how to write jokes, compose all your things in your head. So yeah. I did literally just do that.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So even more confirmation. We just had a conversation about the chat that we learned something new, so I had no idea. I thought that you had buried that part of you.
Oh, no.
I know your dad loved it. So yeah, that's interesting. Wow. If you could change careers right this second, what would you do?
I would be an interior designer.
Interior designer, really?
Yes.
Okay.
I really love interior design. I feel like that is a way for me to be creative and express myself, and not just in a small setting, but throughout an entire house. I can be creative in the kitchen, be creative in the living room, in the bedroom, the bathroom. There's like just many different outlets for me to just be creative and to think outside the box. So I would do interior design.
Okay. What is the best piece of advice you've received?
So it's not really advice, but a quote. It's that I've kind of taken and applied as advice. The quote is, "When a flower does not bloom, you don't change the flower, but you change the environment in which it grows." And that has really just spoke volumes to me, because I put myself in the place of the flower. So I think of myself as a flower, and there's a lot of outside voices and outside people who try to think, well, there's something wrong with you. You need to get yourself together. Maybe pluck a few petals here or change the color of your flower. But it's not so much the flower, but the environment in which the flower goes. So the people around you that you're getting that feedback from, maybe you need to get rid of those people, or the lighting in the room is not good for you. Like just the physicalness of being in an environment. Maybe you need to move from that location into a different location. You get better results. So I've just kind of taken that, and when I feel like I'm getting a little bit down on myself, or I'm letting the outside world affect how I view myself, I think about that quote and I just think, okay, so what in this environment do you need to change to get to a better growing point, to help me grow.
I like that quote, and I want to ask you to say it again, because I think that will help so many people. Because even with flowers, I have my little pots outside, and if it's not getting the right sunlight, they're going to die. And I received quite a few peace lilies, well, 2 peace lilies from my mom. So if I'm miswatering, that peace lily will slump over. But as soon as I add that water,
just change
that
the
peace
environment.
lily will
Change
perk
something.
up. So if you would repeat that one more time.
When a flower does not bloom, you don't change the flower, you change the environment in which it grows.
And with that said, I want to say thank you so much for finally coming to the chat. I truly appreciate you sharing with us.
I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you.